The engineering in the roll cages is something quite extensive in that it's designed to create a compromise between safety and protection of the driver and navigator, and also allow the usability of the car so you can move your hands and feet and everything around without being blocked in by the cage. The design is strictly controlled. It's tested and checked out by scrutineers at every event to make sure that the integrity of the roll cage is always there and always safe. That's your first element of safety in a rally car. The next thing comes down to the seating and the safety harnesses. Now what we've got here with this sort of seat is a wing back seat designed to protect your head in the instance that the car might roll over or you have a side impact or something like that. So that wing will stop your head from overextending and injuring yourself. Another thing, of course, is then the safety element of the safety harnesses, which are, generally speaking, a 3-inch webbing belt, which is attached securely to the roll cage. It's a 6-point harness, which means it's secured to the car in 6 locations. So you've got 2 shoulder straps, you've got a crutch strap which stops your body sliding forward, and then you have side straps which hold you into the seat. You can see the bucket seat itself is quite tight and doesn't allow you to slide around at all. So from a driving perspective, you have a lot more control because you are as one with the car. So that's the primary safety elements of it. Obviously the engine is an important part because it makes you go fast, and a good quality gearbox to make the acceleration ratios work correctly. They're the competitive sides of things, but safety is the first part. Other elements of safety are fire extinguishers, so every car must carry a fire extinguisher. And there's also web cutters, so if you get into an accident we have to carry a knife in the car that will cut the seatbelt to allow you to get out. To make a rear-wheel drive car corner, there's the hydraulic handbrake, and most cars in running 2-wheel drive will have a hydraulic handbrake. This handbrake, when activated, will lock the back wheels only and swing the tail of the car around. Again, a lot of drift cars will use the same sort of thing, but it is something that has been developed from rally, and it's just again another performance element of the vehicle. The navigator's side of things, they have a footrest which allows him to brace himself in the car by pushing back against that plate that's on the floor. The navigator also has the trip meter in front of him, so he's able to measure how far it is between corners or whatever the route instructions tell him are coming up. So he can sit there, he'll have numbers come up on the screen there, and he can then call out to the driver that he's 100 metres from a creek or 200 metres from a corner or something like that. Keeps it all pretty simple. There's also an intercom system so that the driver and the navigator can communicate with each other over the noise of the engine screaming and also the noise of rocks being pummeled into the floor coming off the tyres. So you can see there's a fair bit of preparation goes into the cars. It's not something that necessarily has to be expensive, but you can spend an awful lot of money if you want to. So getting into the sport, because you've got a lot to learn in terms of how to drive and how to prepare and how to work out how a rally goes, it's not much point going out and buying the world's fastest car and spending an awful amount of money on it, because there's a pretty good chance you're not going to be able to drive a competitive. It's best to buy yourself a good, safe, cheap car, something between $5,000 and $10,000. Go out and do some events, learn how it all works, learn how to drive, slowly build your speed up, and then you can start to spend your money on making the car go faster and more reliable from there.